Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome to Straw Harvest for Farming Simulator 22. It brings me great pleasure and excitement to be able to provide you some early access information about Straw Harvest, some gameplay, and earlier today we released 4 different videos covering the various aspects of the Straw Harvest pack, including the buildings, the balers, the bale grabs, and the pellet press itself. The thing that makes Straw Harvest kind of more of a unique gameplay element than anything else included in the pack. If you haven't had a chance to go check those out, go check those out after this is done, because I try to go into as much detail as possible with those, while at the same time hopefully keeping them relatively short. This live stream is all about showing it off and answering your questions. We've already answered one question that was asked in the comments. Can we store not only the bales made with this pack, but the pallets of pellets made with this pack? Can we store those in the Giant's bale and pallet storage building? And the answer is resoundingly yes, we can. In fact, here we have that very building, and we have stored 8 pallets of hay pellets already stored in here, as well as a molasses pallet, twine pallet, and net wrap pallet from the pack. And then we have some bales also made with the pack stored in there. Right now, I am just running some straw bales I made during those previous videos through our pellet press and also through our pellet palleting machine that is in one of the buildings that you can put down with the pack. I was saying before the credits rolled, this is a fabulous way to kind of occupy your winter on your game save, as opposed to simply fast forwarding through winter. And it gives you another revenue source other than forestry. What we're doing is we're loading bales onto the conveyor belt of the pellet press. That pellet press is then making the pellets and offloading them into a hopper. The hopper then loads things up into the bagger. The bagger then moves it up the conveyor belt to a stacking machine that orients each layer into alternating stacks and then places them on the pallet. We've got we gotta move these out of the way. For time's sake, we're just going to use super strength to get these pallets out of the way. The factory will hold 3 full pallets before it shuts down, giving you time to get those moved out of the way. And the pellets can be used for either animal bedding or can be sold. As far as straw pellets go, hay pellets can be used for animal food or sold. Straw pellets can also be taken to a heating plant and burned to produce energy. Yeah, they're just giant bales. They're standard bales. There's no reason why any trailer that already moves bales around wouldn't move these around. There's nothing different about these bales. This will be available, not yet, but will be available over at the Giants Mod Hub for all platforms, releasing this coming week. So it could be releasing tomorrow, it could be releasing Friday, but releasing sometime in the next 5 days over at the Giants Mod Hub, again for all platforms. Now let's run through this whole process. So we put our bales on our conveyor belt. The conveyor belt takes the bales. This is a really cool contraption. We'll see this hook coming across the bale. Okay, it is technically, we don't see it visually, but it is technically cutting and taking the twine off the bale and wrapping it up on this spindle here. Okay, because you don't want to put the twine through the bale shredder. That would be a very bad thing. So the conveyor belt slowly feeds this into the bale shredder, at which time it will shred the bale and put it into the machine. All right, loads it into the machine. The straw is then mixed with water and molasses and run through these pellet wheels, which form the pellets. They are then run up through the conveyor belt into the pellet press storage hopper, where they are then stored. 9,000 pellets can be stored in here. It is then, offloaded into this storage hopper, which is part of the building. The storage hopper then conveyor belts them into this hopper, and this hopper is a part of the bagging machine. This bagging machine is cool. Right? So it fills and makes the bags and deposits them onto this conveyor belt. Okay, really cool. At which time, they go over to this machine, which forms the layers and alternates. Really I could just stare at this thing for an hour. Right? So we get 2 bags in this orientation, and then this machine rotates the bags so that we have an alternate setup. Seriously, industrial machines are some of the most interesting engineering that I could just stare and I could watch a factory for weeks, just stare at how various machines interact with each other. Right? The animations, it's just like I said, really cool to watch this thing. And then once we form a layer, right, we push that onto this tray, which then eventually fills out a whole pallet. That goes over there and it's just boom, wrapped for shipment. And then a new pallet comes over and is placed here, ready to be filled. Once the next layer happens, it's just so cool to watch. I wish more factories in FS22 had this level of detail inside, right? What if we could go into the flour mill and see it working? We've had some factories from Farmer Andy, right, that had this type of animation, but it's a very rare instance where we get this type of animation going on. And then what we're going to see is the pellet bags. These are straw pellets, so they've got a little picture of wheat, right? If I pop out a hay pellet bag, you'll see that it has a little picture of grass. Back there over here. We have a placeable sell point, right? So here we have straw, and there we have hay pellets. See, the bags are different. Hay, straw. We have our heating plant that'll accept straw pellets or wood chips and produce energy. This will be a free DLC fridge. Again, releasing this coming week. I think it would make me sick if I watched an auto wrapper. So let's talk about what can you do with these pellets. Take them out of something. Am I out of molasses? I'm out of water and molasses. Okay. What can we do with these straw pellets? We can sell them, or we can use them as bedding in any animal pen that requires straw. All right, let's pop this out. Our pellet press requires molasses and water as input. There we go. It takes the inputs on one side, so I didn't have it placed properly. Now you can't configure this to auto the inputs, so you don't have to fill them, which is fine, right? Depending on how you want to do things. I'll show you all this stuff here in the shop here in a brief moment. Alright, I just did that because I couldn't get water in there. Let's talk about this stuff in a little bit more detail by taking a look here in the build mode. This kit includes 3 buildings. We have the pellet hall here with the palletizing machinery. We have a standard building without that machinery, located right here. It's just the building itself. We can do whatever we want with. 175,000 for each variant. This building has a crane added to it. So you see the crane in there. We'll talk about the crane here in a little bit. Under production, we go to factories. We now have the pellet hall palletizer. This is the one with the actual pallet making product. Okay, then we have the heating plant that'll take straw pellets or wood chips. And then our sell points, we have the placeable sell point. As far as machinery goes with the pack, we have 3 bale grabs. The first 2 can be used with front loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. And then the second or the last one is wheel loader only. We have the prone round baler. And we can set this up to manually load net wrap, or we can load it automatically. We load it automatically. We never have to worry about filling this thing up. It's just auto full. We have the Krone Big Pack Square Baler. This one we can configure with a bale chute. So it's just like a standard square baler at that point. But we could also have it automatic or manually load twine into these large bins on the sides. Or we can configure it with a bale collect chute. And the bale collect chute is then paired up with the bale collect trailer. And this is an awesome piece of machinery. I really like this. This will take 3 bales and put them side by side on the field. So as you're baling, it collects 1, 2, 3. When it has 3 bales, it dumps them out the back. So that's easier to go and collect, especially with your bale grabs. Then we have the Primos 5000, the pellet press. This will work with straw and hay, and we can once again manually or automatically fill it. It will require water and molasses to be filled if you do have manual mode. This is an add-on for the pellet press, the Bale shredder conveyor belt. Then we have pallets of bale twine, net wrap, and molasses. That is pretty much everything included in the pack. We can sell these at our sell point, as I mentioned. And we have 2,000 pellets of straw. We can take these straw pellets and put them in loose or in bag form into our heating plant. Or, as I already mentioned, we could take loose or bagged pellets and make them and use them as bedding. Just like that. Now, when we do use it as bedding, they will expand to their pre-compressed capacity. Okay, we are actually compressing the bale, we're compressing the straw. So when we do that, we get a lot more straw in our bag than we input. So you see we have 2,000 liters of straw pellets in our animal pen, but we didn't put 10 bags in here. We didn't put 10 bags in here. When we use it for feed, the same behavior happens. So if you take and put 2,000 liters of hay pellets in your food trough, you'll get about 8,000 liters of hay out of those hay pellets. So it's about a 4-to-1 ratio of compaction. So what questions do you have? What do you all want to see next? I've got a field of straw ready to go. I got a field of hay ready to go. I don't know why that looked like it shifted. At any rate. I feel like I'm making some bales with the Bale Collect. That is my second favorite aspect, I guess, of this pack. If I were to have one, is just making square bales and having 3 bales drop out the back of the Bale Collect. Then we can load those bales up again onto the trailer. I think the bale grabs make it really easy to move bales around manually. Let's talk about our crane a little bit. This building in all variants includes 2 machine doors, includes lights, includes a person door. There are 3, I guess, bunkers included with the building. 1, 2, and 3. I believe in FS19 we can move these around. We can make them go away and make them longer or shorter. They seem to be static, at least with the initial release. And then we have our crane. I'm not big on using the crane, but we can come over here, we can enter the crane. And we have 3 camera angles of the crane. And left click, left and right will move the crane up and down the crane carriage, I guess. And up and down will move the crane carriage across the building. Right mouse button, left and right will rotate the crane, while up and down will raise and lower. And then left and right mouse button, up and down will open and close. Right now we have it with the bucket, but we can also change that to a bale spike. Or we can change it over to what I've been told is a pallet grab for picking up and taking pallets off of the conveyor belt. Let's just struggle and see if we can't manage to make a royal mess of this and try that. I don't think I can get far enough over there. Oh, I guess I can. Yeah, see this? Yeah, this is why we just don't use cranes. Go up. Alright, I just see it. Alright, there we go. We made a mess of it. My brain's too small. Thankfully, we don't have to use a crane. But if you've got a joystick, if you are accustomed and capable, then that itself adds a whole new level of gameplay to the machine as well. Hey, I demonstrated for you. I don't claim at any point in time to be an expert in crane manipulation. Loungefly, how are you doing? Oh, Jim, it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna load 2 more bales up and then we're gonna get on with something else. And we're just gonna let this thing run. So in addition to this machine, we do have some information in the F1 menu. Number of bags, number of pallets produced, how long we have a supply for, and then basically the fill level of the bagging machine. That's not necessarily the fill level of the hopper or the pelletizer. I think it's just a miracle that we can load these bales on a conveyor belt and not have a risk of them just exploding all over the place. Right? That's what I think. Okay. Let's empty this. And let's get on with something more fun. More fun. Let's show you the let's show you the pellets, the hay pellets real fast before we do something. Okay, so we've got our bag of our pallet of hay pellets. Okay, 2,000 liters of hay pellet. Before we fed our cows, we have... Oh, they're full. Oh, shoot. Are they still full? Yes, okay. Well, this isn't going to work. But what you could do... I mean, look at this. Cheater, cheater, I don't have to eat her. There you go. All right, we just put that there. And we don't have to feed our cows for who knows how long. Right? Because they, well, they'll just trickle fill themselves. Let's top off our... Let's, for funsies' sake, top off our twine. So with the baler, we're going to hit in to lower the twine boxes. Open the door. There, we've already got twine loaded in there. But we'll go ahead and just add a little bit more twine just to show that off. Here we have our pallet of twine. And we'll hit R. And now we are loading twine into our machine. So we've topped it off now. It wasn't down by too much. We'll load that up. We have our bale collect here on the back. And for a little change of scenery, let's go press some hay bales. Across the street. So what we're going to do is we need to unfold our bale collect. We're going to hit X. It's going to shorten up the tongue and basically make this a fixture of the baler. And now we're going to basically turn the baler on. We've already lowered it down. We can make 240 centimeter, 180 or 220 centimeter square bales. And notice in the F1 menu, I zoomed in during my video that I published earlier this morning to show it in better detail, but O will change the operating mode of the bale collect. Right now we have a dash X dash, which means that as soon as it gets one bale on the bale collect, it's going to dump it directly out the back. When it O, now we have X dash X. It's going to collect two bales, one on either side, and then dump it out the back. Or O for a third one, and it's going to basically move the first bale to the right. The next bale is going to move to the left. When the third bale comes down the middle, it then is going to drop all three bales off the back. So let's go ahead and demonstrate all three of those modes. And then the baler, it's got some really cool animations. I like just kind of watch some of the animations that are going on in here. And one thing that I pointed out are these little lollipops. Okay? They are visual indicators for the operator in the tractor. And you'll see them pop when the nodder, I should say, spins. So let's get lined up and just watch the nodder. Watch those lollipops when we get a bale. And right there, boom. Right, so we had animations of the nodder, the lollipops popped. So the person in the tractor can now kind of at a glance, every time a bale's made, he'll see that pop and know that all the nodders worked. See? Ain't that cool? We'll watch it just one more time. I have no clue if I'm driving down the windrow or not. And pop. So we see we get a bale off and then we dump it. Let's change our mode now to 2 bales. So we're going to see the bale get shifted to the right on our bale collect. We're going to then see it get shifted to the left when the next bale comes out. And then it's going to deposit both of those bales on the ground. And then let's hit it again. Oh. So now we have 3 bales being ejected off the bale collect. First one's going to go to the right. Second one, it's going to go to the left. Boys and Crazy, thank you for the sub. And then the third bale is going to go right down the middle. And then all 3 are going to get shoved out the back. And it's a whole lot easier to pick 3 bales up at once off the field. There we go, boom. It's a lot easier to pick 3 bales up off the field than to be picking up a whole row of bales manually. Yes, you can change the bale sizes. It's all standard square bale sizes. 180, 220, or 240. So all the standard baling features that you would have in a base game baler are available here. As far as bale sizes, we have the bale counter that is available. You could configure this to auto load the twine or manually loaded twine, whichever you want. You can run this with or without the bale collect. And I just think the bale collect is something that adds a whole new level to the operation. But it's going to town. 15, 16 mile an hour baling. Assuming you've got the right horsepower, right? We got more than enough horsepower here with our Fit 1050. So you can see those. Something's odd with the initial release. I'm suspecting there'll be an update because if we unload the 3 bales at speed, the center bale always ends up being a bit forward from the other bales, but it's easy enough to fix with respect to then loading them up with our bale grab. So let's finish this row and then we'll go talk about the round baler. The round baler will work pretty much the same way this does. It doesn't have a bale accumulator, sadly. I do know that they make round bale accumulators. They would be awesome. I think it's like to do 2 bales side by side. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The only way I would run this machine would be with the three bales. Right? Why else have a bale collect if you're not gonna shoot 3 bales off? All right, let's go talk about our round baler. Round baler is very, very similar to the square baler in the fact that we can load net wrap as opposed to twine. We're going to hit in to open that door. And then we would load our twine in the front. Hit in again to close that door down. We're going to make our normal size bales, so 125, 150, or 180 centimeter round bales. We got some cool animations with respect to these belts, we'll call them. Bailing at 12 mile an hour. And just like with any other round baler, you will have to stop to unload. But unloading is super fast. Loungefly, thank you for becoming a farm baron. Speaking of that, this video is brought to you by Andre Yokoma and Jackson Weatherholt. Thank you for being farm barons. Farmer Willie, what is up, sir? Glad to have you here. Really quick, popping these things out. Now we cannot run a round bale through our bale press. So the bale shredder only accepts square bales. Well, I don't know why. I just feel like this thing bales faster than the other balers. Oh, Farmer Willie, I think it's working out fine. No issues really whatsoever. No braking issues, I'll say. There we go, that's a round baler. Yeah, the the press is definitely a real thing in real life. When this first came out in FS17, there were videos out on YouTube of this being used, or the bale press, the conveyor belt and everything being used IRL. as well as the pellet press being used out in the field. Let me get this out of the way. Honestly, I do not remember the FS19 version of this pack with great detail. I felt the FS19 version was underwhelming compared to the FS17 version. I do know I had that impression. I feel that this version is a bit more akin to the FS17 variant. Okay, so we are now, let's shut this down. Let's fold up our conveyor belt. Have this thing finish unloading into the hopper. That way we can then take this out in the field. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember why I didn't like it as good in 19 anymore. I just know it didn't feel like my straw harvest from FS17, which I was just absolutely adored with. So we'll disconnect the bale shred. We have to disconnect the bale shred for the pickup, for the infield pickup to show up. So here at the bottom, you see we have the infield pickup, but when we attach the bale shred, that's in an up position. So we have to disconnect that so we can make use of this out in the field. These are straw pellets, so we can just offload them directly into our heating plant. I like the heating plant because it's got this little window around the back, so we can see the fill level of the plant. The heating plant will accept wood chips or straw pellets. Where did I put my molasses? I don't know where I put my molasses, but we'll just go fill up with water. Top off with water. Did I put it back in here? I did. I put the molasses back in. So when you are filling this, remember it likes to fill from the shredder side. So that would be the side that has the conveyor belt. Let's make straw pellets just for the sake of being over here. But we can run hay through this as well. We're not limited to just straw. So once you have this loaded with molasses or water, you lower her down, turn her on, and off to the races we go. Now, it might be a little underpowered with the tractor, but this process is relatively slow at like maybe 6 mile an hour top speed. There we are. Putting things in. So if we wanted to make our pellets in the field, we could do that. Loungefly, the impression I get is release is imminent. I think it's been in testing. I think it's cleared testing. And we got word on Friday that we would be able to get access to this, and had the embargo date of this morning, and that it would be releasing this coming week. So not that it was being sent to testing this week, that it will be released this week. So that could be tomorrow release day, on Monday, that could be Friday, could be any day in between. But what we heard is it will be released this week. So we've just taken an entire windrow of straw and compacted that down into 5,400 liters of pellets. Again, this is a compaction process, so it's not liter for liter. 1 liter of straw does not make 1 liter of pellet. It's approximately an 8-to-1 compaction ratio. So 8,000 liters of straw will be 1,000 liters of pellets. When you are then looking at the sell price between straw and straw pellets, right? $104 at the biomass energy plant is our best price there. Our straw pellets, the best price is $927 per 1,000 liters. But remember the 8-to-1 ratio, right? It's also easier to store one 2,000 liter pallet of straw pellets than 16,000 liters of straw, loose straw, or 16,000 liters of straw bales. So it's a way of basically saving storage, storing less product. Can I sell loose? Well, sure. Why not? So we got 9,000 liters of straw pellets directly into the sell point. How much money am I going to get? Hello, G Candyman. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. No more than hired help on windrows already. So I don't think so. I don't think you can hire a helper to bale straw, right? I don't think you can hire a helper then to do the pellets. Right, I mean, you can hire a helper to mow. You can hire a helper to windrow, to Ted, but you can't hire a helper to bale. And the same would hold to this. You can't hire a helper to pelletize because of the fact that I don't think the helper would really have anything to follow. So now that we have a tractor with ample horsepower, let's go and pelletize some hay. Right, same process. There's the pellet room inside here. Wait, did I? Oh. 6 mile an hour. That's why I like baling, and then bringing the bales to the conveyor belt and loading it. It just feels like it's faster than making the pellets in the field. But either will work. Forced, as far as I know, yes, straw harvest will be free. It'll be available over at the Giants Mod Hub, releasing later this week for all platforms. So PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox, Xbox Series S and X, all should have access to it coming later this week. Something else that's really cool with this is we have a oh, come on. Well, I think you saw the ladder. The ladder folds and unfolds. Well, Chad, I mean, if you had one of those V rakes in front, then supposedly you should be able to hire help to rake. And as a result of the pellet press being connected, then it would work. Because basically you're hiring the helper to rake. I do not know about Courseplay. I do not use it. But I would guess it would work. I mean, I don't know. I have not used Courseplay in a very long time because, well, I got tired of fighting Courseplay and spending more time trying to get it to do what it should be doing than it took to actually do the job myself. So there you go. We just made 9,000 liters of hay pellets. I'm going to dump these into a trailer. And then I'm going to come down here and play with my bale grabs because I just like to. And who doesn't like catching a little air with your farm machinery? That's another reason to use my test save. It's got ramps built in. So as you can see, we overload. We can overload into a field or into a trailer. Left mouse up and down lets us adjust the overload conveyor belt. That's really cool how you may not be seeing that, but the loading belt raises and lowers as the fill level of our pellet hopper fills. Fun little details. Delta Gamer, what's up? There we have that animation. Low ladder. Folding and unfolding. Pretty cool. And then when we want to load this thing back up in the shop, because we want a stationary pellet produce, we need to come up to it a specific way. The same side as the overload belt, the side that says Primos 5000. I guess they both say that, but you can see the line there in the plastic. We need to come up to the side of the conveyor belt with the yellow roller, and then we can hit Q to connect. Boom, there we go. Bob's your grandfather. And we can unfold this either inside or outside of the building. Yes, hay pellets can be used for cows as hay. They can be used for sheep, and they can be used for horse. So hay pellets are hay. So anywhere that hay can be used for your animals, hay pellets can be used as well. The same will be said with respect to straw. Everywhere that straw pellets or straw can be used, straw pellets can be used as well. All right, we got that going on. Let's drop this off. Let me empty this. Just for the sake of keeping the factory running. Right? I mean, this is just... We showed this off earlier, but the animations on this stuff is just too good to not watch constantly. Industrial engineering is just way cool. And then the palletizer just keeps building out the layers, loading them onto pallets. And eventually, they come over here wrapped, ready for shipment. And we can take and sell these at our sell point. We can store them in the pallet building. Just like that. Or we can use them to as bedding for our cows and anything else that accepts straw. So I'm going to be using the 3-bale bale grab because I like it so much. 3-bale horizontal bale grab. The pack includes a vertical 3-bale bale grab as well. We can use front loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. And we have a choice of color selection. For all of our bale grabs, so let me just show you how quick and fast it is to load up a trailer manually with these bale grabs. I mentioned in my video released earlier this week, not this week, earlier today, part 3, where we talked about the bale grabs when this first came out in FS17. Before this was released, I used exclusively auto-loading bale trailers to load the bales up off the fields. And then this came out and I stopped nearly immediately. And instead, well, I load bales this way. And that's how I basically loaded bales for the rest of my FS17 gameplay. Because, well, it was just so much easier and more enjoyable. And of course, why should something work when everyone's eyeballs are on it? That would be too convenient. So we're gonna hit Y. We now grabbed our bales. And we're gonna start making our layers on our trailer. Z to unload. So that was 3 bales loaded. How about 6? Hey, this will make the what is it, bale loading thing on Giants. This will make bale loading a whole lot faster. You need a water pallet. I don't know why there's no silage additive option on the balers. I don't think there was in 17 or 19 for these. Of course, you know, there's no reason why they couldn't. Oh, well, we have a molasses pallet, right? My guess is they were just figuring you'd have a water trigger or the water trailer to use, and a water tote would not be needed. Now I just know that I can put 8 bales along the trailer. So that could be one reason to make some 3 and some 2. Would be to keep track of how many you had of which, so you can load the baler or load the trailer a specific way. Scottish Jim, what's up? What is up, sir? But I mean, come on. Have you ever seen loading a trailer be this easy? Yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12. We got 15 bales on here already. Right, our height is only going to be limited to our reach. Like I said earlier, there's something going on with the bale collect right now that's causing that center bale to extend when it's ejected. I don't know what's up with that. I'm going to mention it to him. I'm going to show him some a clip off the stream. You want me to pick up 3 bales this way? I won't reach. But there's another bale grab. There's this one. But it's more... I feel it's more intended to pick bales up one at a time and then stack them. And then you have the bigger one that will move 5 bales at a time. I'll use that one when we get up to the yard. Yeah, this one is related to when you're using a bale collect, if you unload at speed, the center bale will pull forward after it's on the ground, been on the ground, which is a little interesting. Oh man, this trailer's gonna be top heavy. If you stop and then unload the 3 bales, it doesn't do it. So maybe it's just in testing. That's how they did it, was they stopped. Maybe they don't expect folks to unload at speed. But you know, why not? So that's a nice load. It really didn't take us that long. These are where we unloaded 1 bale off the bale loader. And I mean, I'm just doing this quick. I'm not trying to make a beautiful stack either, but the bales aren't that bad. It could have been a lot cleaner, for sure. So there we have 224,000 liters of bales on here. Biggest challenge will be not rolling them over. Careful, 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 careful. I don't know what the deal is with the shop here. And the muting of engine sounds every time I come through here. No cars, no cars, no cars, no cars. Go. The question inevitably, can you put those in bale storage? Yes. Yes, you can. Now we have our wheel loader. Let's show off the big bale grab. So we'll unfold and we can move 5 bales at a time. You remember when we got straps on trailers? It was like such a quality of life improvement. Oh, can we? Oh, watch, we can't reach those. Oh yeah, man. Let's just not tip it over. I'm ready for a new version of Farm Sim. Yes, I think, to be quite honest, that overall, okay. Overall, my concern is that while 3 years between releases is great for the developers, 3 years between releases is great for modders and mappers to really start to fully embrace and come up with unique and interesting things that a every 2-year release would not facilitate. Overall, the interest and longevity of the game with respect to players and everyone else, other than the most hardcore fans, I feel move on. Before those 3 years is up. We should probably have a bigger wheel loader for this, huh? So I think, yes, the general populace is ready for something else. That's why I'm hoping that they will be announcing something this year about a new farm sim. I mean, there's always new players coming to the game. And those new players will be coming to the game all the way up until the release of whatever the next farm sim is. Oh, that's not level there. That's what's going on. There's a dip. So those that are new to the game, right, then it's all new to them and everything, but I think a significant portion of the initial player base has moved on by the end of year 2. So I'm kind of torn in a 2-year life cycle would keep interest in, I think, interest in the game, but would there be a lack of overall development between versions that would then kind of counteract that player interest? So here we have the smaller bale grab. It's for 3 bales vertically. It has the same mechanic of the claws, but we also have the ability with X to put the spikes away. gonna stab the bale. We're gonna hit Y. Right now I've grabbed all three. And we should probably have a weight. Now, one way I like using this is to, like, let's say stack this way. Let's take one bale, right? We'll bring it over. To, let's say, another bale. And then we'll go around and we'll find a third bale. Pretending these aren't stacked. And then we'll have 3 bales. And then we can go put that on a trailer. Right? So there's different usage scenarios for the different grabs. We don't have to use the pellet press in the building if you have difficulty backing it in the right way. You could use the pellet press outside the building and then load the building with an auger or a belt. Oops. Alright, let's get that as high as we can go. Get this parked underneath. They're done making pellets, which is good. Where's my skid steer? Oh, it's in here. And now we can go back to making pellets. Of course, the bales can be used however you want. Right? They don't have to be used in the pellet press. They're just normal bales. And if you don't want to load the pellet press or the balers with molasses, water, twine, or net wrap, then you can always just configure them to automatic. Costs $10,000 for that luxury, but it is something that's possible. Actually, let's stop this. So we have an 8,000 liter bale of hay, right? I want to demonstrate the 8-to-1 ratio here. So we're taking 8,000 liters of hay and we're making these into pellets. So when this bale of hay is fully made into pellets, there should be 1,000 liters of pellets in here. Well, let's just pretend I knew what I was saying and I was correct. Clearly that wasn't so. 4-to-1 ratio. Ish. Not 8-to-1. 4-to-1-ish. So 8,000 liters of straw of hay went in. 1890 of pellets came out. But then, real quick, sheepy, 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 sheep. So we're going to take that 1,980 lettries of hay pellets, and we're going to dump them in here. Because we can. And now we have 3,000 liters of straw, or not straw, hay. Let's buy sheep so we actually can see things. So now we have 3,000 liters of hay in our sheep area. Remember, we had 1,980 liters of pellets. Now we have 1,230. So when they are added as a food source, they expand to their full prior capacity. Same holds with the straw. If you put straw pellets in the bedding area, they will expand, so they are bigger on the inside. Dwayne, you're gonna add this to the server. And Schultz will have everyone making pellets. Thank you for being a farm baron. 27 months. What other questions? What other things do y'all want to see demonstrated? I think we pretty much covered the major highlights of the pack. our pellet press requires molasses and water to operate. We can configure that either manual or automatic in the shop. If we pick automatic, we don't have to worry about it. If we pick manual, then we will need to buy molasses, pallets, and supply the press with water. We can make hay pellets and straw pellets. We can make pellets in the field or stationary using the bale shredder. The bale shredder will only accept square bales. It will take square bales of any size, but it will not accept round bales. The round baler accepts net wrap as an input, which can be bought at the shop, or you can configure it to be automatic, so you don't have to fill the net wrap if you want. The square baler can also be configured as automatic, or can hold up to 66, I think, bales of twine. Our twine bales right over here. All bales can be stored in any current storage shed that holds any of the standard Giants bales, because these bales are basically standard game bales. They don't differ in any way when they're output by the machine. The pallet of pellets, as well as the pallet of twine, net wrap, and molasses, can be stored in our storage shed, our bale and pallet storage. So if you're someone that likes to store your pallets until a better time to sell them, well, you don't have to worry about that, because we can store those. We have a heating plant that we can put down that will accept straw pellets and wood chips. We have a placeable sell point we can put down that will accept our loose or palletized pellets to sell if for any reason you're on a map that doesn't work, doesn't offer the ability to sell pellets, or maybe you're just looking for a more convenient place to sell those pellets. We have 3 different bale grabs. We have a vertical bale grab for front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. We have a 3 bale horizontal bale grab for front loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. Or we have a 5 bale grab in the horizontal fashion that is for wheel loader only. That is also a part of this pack. You can feed hay pellets. You can use straw pellets as bedding. Your shed comes in, your she shed comes in 3 different variants. We have the empty shed, which is right here. All sheds come with these 3 bunkers. You can put root crops in here. You can stack loose material in here, like loose hay straw or grass. You can place, obviously, pellets in here in a loose format, if you wish. We got nice roll down doors. You can get the shed with a crane. I am horrible with the crane, so we won't even attempt to do much with it other than to show you that there are multiple camera angles available with the crane. Left click up and down moves the whole crane carriage across the shed. Left click left and right moves the crane along the carriage, I guess you could say. Right mouse button left and right rotates the crane. Right mouse button up and down raises and lowers the crane. And left and right mouse button together opens and closes up and down. We also have, this is a pallet grab. We have a scoop for grabbing loose material, or we have a claw for grabbing bales for our crane. And we could obviously use the crane then to bring material from this part of the shed over to this part of the shed if we are using the shed that includes the palletizer. You put product into here. Product goes then up the conveyor belt into the bagging machine. The bagging machine then puts the product onto this palletizer. It then builds out a pallet, and you're then left with a full pallet, 2,000 liters. The heating plant will provide you money per hour. Well, I mean, it's rather costly, I guess. So any shed, any variant of the shed, and maybe the other shed should be cheaper. Any version of the shed is going to be $175,000. The heating plant is $42,000 if you want to do that. The sell point is $500 if you need to put that down. As far as machinery goes, the bale grabs I think are very inexpensive. $4,500, $6,400, or $14,000. The two balers, $81,700 for the round baler, $319,000 for the square baler. But square balers are fairly expensive to begin with, so not super out of line, I guess. Maybe compared to this one. Then we also have the bale collect that goes on the back of this. The press is $320,000. The bale shredder. So if you combine the press, the shredder, and the building, it's a pretty good sum of money. But you can also make a decent living off the pellets in the winter months with bales you've made. Oops, so prices. Now this test save is on easy economy, but price wise goes are straw pellets right now $940 per 1,000 is the best for those. Hay pellets, the best is $12.18 at the pellet sell point. Now remember, these are compressed 4-to-1. So 1,000 liters of pellets is the equivalent of 4,000 liters of loose material or baled material. So a 2,000 liter pallet of pellets is the equivalent of 8,000 liters . What is up, the Dark One? How is it going? I like this pack from the standpoint that it just provides variety in gameplay. I personally don't play to make the most money possible. I don't play to make things as easy as possible, as fast as possible. I want variety, and this provides that. During the summer, I can do my farming, I can do things I need to do, I can make bales, I can store those bales in the building, I can store the bales outside the building, and then in the winter months, when I don't want to be doing forestry, and I'd rather not just simply fast forward 3 or 4 months into spring, I can take those bales that I've made in the spring, summer, and autumn and use them in the press. And then I can make pellets in the winter. While it's snowing outside, I can be inside the building, breathing in diesel exhaust and getting, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning. But at the same time, making pellets that I can either use as food, I can use as bedding, or I can sell and obviously supplement my income over the winter. Daniel, no, you're not missing anything. I don't think it was ever marketed as being anything more than Straw Harvest Pack 422, right? So I don't think at any point was there any new gameplay element aspects that we hadn't already seen with Straw Harvest. It's just, it's now available for 22. This is now the third version of the game that Straw Harvest has been available. So it was pretty revolutionary, groundbreaking gameplay add-on for 17. At that point, it was a paid third-party DLC only available for PC players. In 19, it became a free mod on the Mod Hub, and as such, available to everyone. And in 22, it will also be a free add-on, again available for everyone. See where we stand with our water and molasses. We're gonna need to fill those up. Oops. Wrong machine. I was like, can I fill this from this position? Yep, I can. I thought it was empty. why can't... Oh, come on. Fold. Yes, I want to fold it. Alright, we're at any rate. Let's get this thing filled up with water. Back up with water. Get out of the smoke. About the free pellets. Let's see here. How many pellets have we made here? Almost 30,000 liters. So that didn't take long. Let's see how much money we make. Well, they will close her out. We pretty much demonstrated everything. In the last minute questions, we get those covered. $35,000 for nearly 30,000 liters of pellets. Not too bad overall. With respect to cost to time. And this is August. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We'll be back in 4 hours over at the FK Funhouse channel for our Sunday night convoy night with American Truck Simulator. If you're interested in checking that out, again, that's over at the Funhouse channel. Explanation FK's Funhouse. Explanation FK's Funhouse. We'll get that link up for you. Again, we'll be live in 4 hours over there doing our ATS Sunday night convoy night. Running loads up and down the west coast, central U.S. Waiting for Arkansas to release. I believe that's the next state, if I'm remembering right. Or is it Missouri? I don't remember. We got Arkansas, Missouri, and I don't remember. I gotta look that up. Get back in the ATS thought process. Any rate, we'll hopefully be back in Farm Sim tomorrow, Monday night, barring any map releases over the Giants Mud Hub. Where will we be playing? Guess what? With Straw Harvest over on Alma, Missouri. Till next time, happy farming.